Hello, it is Jessica Amaladon, and I am back with another video for your weekly energy update for the week of February 1st through February 7th. I am happy to be here. I am working with a brand new microphone. So I am going to ask whoever is on this call to let me know, hi Chelsea, how you can hear me right now, because this is the very first time I am using this new microphone on a Facebook Live. So if you could please just type a little comment saying how the sound is and if you can hear me, that would be awesome. And I'll just keep, chatting and going on with my little update. But if I don't hear from anybody that you can hear me in a minute, I will have to look into it. So it was working fine when I tested it on like my recorder today. So it should be good. So what a week. I feel like we're still this is my cat Isabella, for those of you that don't know. I feel like we're still going through, hey Audrey, thanks for joining. Let me know if you can hear me. This is a new microphone, so I've never used it on a Facebook Live. So I'm hoping to get a confirmation that it's working on a Facebook Live, because I was having problems with my other options. So I decided to try something new. So yeah, it's just been like a really profound week of going deeper into the self, into deeper healing, into, I think in some respects I felt like they've been moving a little bit slow. Oh, yay, finally, it's coming through. It says, hey girl, loud and clear. Yay. Awesome. Well, hopefully it's going to be very consistent throughout the entire broadcast with no weird interference or anything like that. Yeah, because there was some issues in the past and I finally decided enough is enough. So, but yeah, I feel like in some ways the update that I did last week is still kind of relevant, and yet maybe some of those things from the reading last week will start to play out a little bit more in the physical this week, I'm kind of feeling. And then this energy update is going to maybe prepare a little bit for what's to come next week. So it's almost it just almost feels like we're getting the energies a little bit ahead of the physical manifestations. Mostly just because there's a lot coming in. I've been working a lot lately in the Akashic records and doing a lot of shifting up there. There's been some past life stuff in general that's been wanting to come up to clear. But also there's just been a soul calling for people to be going up into the magical realms and really connecting with that energy, which is super beautiful. And it's kind of I feel like these readings that I'm doing are like a hybrid of going into people's Akashic records, but also going and doing this rainbow bridge connection, and as I like to call it, and into, those interdimensional realms and bridging them, which is exactly how we're going to create what I like to call earth magic. So, and I feel like that's very in alignment with my path and my purpose, and people just love it. It's a really going into these realms is very pure. It's very blissful and special to kind of feel what it's like to be there and to see what it's like to be in a real life fairy tale that's your own, for just a little brief window of time, and then bring some of that energy back with you. So, and then, of course, bringing in all those high vibrations and all the activations that come along with this experience really kind of do force like this more rapid purge of some lower energies that are wanting to clear, that might be holding you back from fully stepping into the next phase of your life and your path and your purpose. So they're kind of long. It takes like a reading takes at least 90 minutes. It can take up to 2 hours, including like the intro and the debrief, depending on how much stuff you're wanting to, soul is wanting to integrate up there. But it's a really, really worthwhile experience. And it's really cool because I'm taking people into their records with me, and they are seeing the same things that I am seeing. So in their mind's eye. So I'm really like guiding people through this experience, sort of like, it's kind of like some, like a soul version of like a virtual reality, but it's real. And it's just so cool that that we're all able to see the same thing at the same time in our mind's eye. So, hey Diane, hey Julie, great to have you here. New microphone, yay! So, yeah, so I think we'll just like get into the cards. We'll get into the reading. For whatever reason, a gateway oracle wants to come out first, which is very, very different. And then I'll just like, if things come up as we go that I haven't kind of thought to mention, I'll just throw it in there. So, but on the whole, I would say like some of the heavier energies that have been blocking, like, I've mentioned before in the past that there's, some darker energies that have been sort of mucking with things and blocking some more positive manifestations from coming through. And I really feel like that is lifting, and that what's kind of being asked of us in some cases at a deeper level now, if you've been really affected by some of those darker energies, is to like kind of come to terms and heal and forgive the past so that you can really move forward into like all the positive manifestations that are available to us now. So, which, I'm in the middle of that very much myself, and it's easier said than done when you've been through like a lot, and you've seen some horrible things happen, over decades, but it's all possible, and it's all kind of just needing to come to a close. So let's see what overall energy the Gateway Oracle wants to share this week. What wants to come up? Nice. Yeah, this came up. This is a strong message because it's come up a couple times. So, savoring pleasure. And it says, I fully embrace bliss in my life. So you can see, the bubble bath, and there's flowers, candles, fragrance, music. I think there's chocolate on here too, if you're into chocolate. And if you're into wine, there's a glass of wine on here. I think it's kind of a little bit too literal, to pick out every single thing of here. Although taking baths is always a good thing. But I think it just has to do with this whole, if we're going to get really specific about the bath, I think that there's a lot of these emotions, like I was saying, that want to come up and clear right now. Because we're kind of free of all those dark energies spiritually that we've been fighting with, that we've been, honestly, it's been like a spiritual war for 4 years or more. For some people, it's been like this for since 2012. And it's just getting into the water really helps to get into the emotions. And when you're fully immersed in that water, you can really, feel deeply into what's really going on with you. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining. So, and often music can help get into that emotional state as well, right? And, candles always get us into that state of transformation. I've got some candles lit right now because it emphasizes for me that feeling of being in that sacred space where we can allow more profound experiences and shifts to happen. So it's just kind of really emphasizing the importance of taking your time for yourself this week to have one of these experiences or two of these kind of experiences for yourself, to allow yourself to have some important self-care at this time. So I think that's really interesting that that came out as an overall energy for the week. What else? Yeah, we'll do a Lightworker Oracle next. It's interesting that these Oracle energies want to come out first, but that's okay. So, let me scroll down. What else is here? Glad to have you here. Okay. So what does the group need to know in their highest good for the week from the Lightworker Oracle? What do they need to know? Oh, wow. Fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. Okay, so I think I kind of know what this is about. And then the underside is Dark Night of the Soul, but we won't worry about that too much. So yeah, it's been coming up a lot about like the idea of air and the initiations by air. And this is like really about coming into the higher mind. Like it's almost as if yeah, there's been a really strong message like that. In order to see things clearly, we need to clear out like old negative emotions, old resentments, old emotional debris with the help of like, you know, letting things go, like taking care of ourselves. Forgiveness is another thing, although that's not really what this card is talking about. And because that's how we're going to, like, through just allowing that debris to clear, that's how we're going to really access this, what she's calling this fifth ray of intellectual knowledge, but it's the higher mind. And it also has to do with like accessing a lot of the brilliance that's available from our past lives and our Akashic records, and from, you know, getting information from light ships, from star family that are trying, you know, wanting to contact us now. Like, I feel like it's all of that. And you can see like, it's like there's this huge orb of light around her head. It's massive. Like there's this huge, and there's this strong stream of light activating her crown and her soul star. And it's just so lit. And it's like nothing at all like the old ego mind, which comparatively, you know, you could see these people basically look like dead and in coffins, but really all they're representing is like the average human mind that's totally stuck in a paradigm of social control and mass media manipulation, and that's basically killing and destroying people, which is why, you know, we've been working so hard to clear things out so that we can access this higher knowledge and be these beacons of light and bring in all this new. So a very powerful message that all this like clearing and work is leading towards some pretty powerful activations that are about to come up of that higher mind. So I think, you know, it's important to, and you know, I'm not really surprised about this because it needs to happen. I mean, I was seeing like an article. I try not to avoid the news, but I saw in this article that there's only like 70 something southern resident orcas left in BC, the ones that live off the coast of BC and I guess Washington State as well. And it was in the news because another one went missing that was being watched, and I guess they think it died. He was like an older male. And actually, like, the orca is it's like basically my spirit animal. And I was just thinking about like, oh my gosh, like I have so much wisdom to learn from the orcas, and they're going like extinct. And there's only like 3 babies right now that could potentially bear more southern resident orcas in the future. at this point in time, and the whole future of their population rests on those three from a physical standpoint. But from a spiritual standpoint, I feel like it's like we're being called to like connect with on a spiritual level with the spirit of these animals, whichever animals you're called with that maybe you have a connection with. I know other people have connections with some people that watch this channel have connection with other endangered animals that are very special. And it's all for a reason. It's like there's important knowledge and wisdom in these animals that wants to be known and heard. Like, so it's brought forward no matter what. Like, unfortunately, even if like they do go, because ultimately everything goes in time. I mean, there's been hundreds and thousands of species on the planet that have come and gone that still, they only live on in DNA and in memory. But it's just, but they want to be heard, I guess is what I'm saying, is like they have things to share and it wants to be heard. And I don't think that is separate from this either, because the orcas and the dolphins are so connected to these higher vibrations, these higher realms. So yeah, that was a mouthful. I wasn't expecting all that to come out. So let's pull also, I'm calling to pull like one more oracle card from Magical Dimensions before we pull some tarot. And hey Victoria, thanks for joining. So what does the group need to know in their highest good? In the highest good of all? What do they need to know in the highest good? In the highest good of all? What do they need to know? What do we need to know? What do we need to know in the highest good? In the highest good of all? Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I had a feeling this was coming up. Okay, this is really great. So it's Breakthrough. This is an amazing card. I love the imagery on it. There's I don't know if you can see it well, but there's like a woman in the middle in that green triangle, but she kind of blends in. So it's like a little bit hard to see her. But it says under that, leap of faith, freedom, new beginnings. So yeah, it's just a really, really powerful omen, powerful message about moving into a new chapter. And I definitely think this is like this new insight coming in, this new higher mind, higher wisdom is very, very much as a result of this breakthrough that's coming, because this is a breakthrough. And I think it's funny because like the first message was like, it wasn't like working so hard to get your breakthrough. It was like, relax. It was like, you know, take a bath. Like sometimes when we're trying too hard, we can't get the information that we want to come through. Like it's like going into the Akashic records. Like if you're really freaking out, like about like, oh, like, is this going to work? Or is this so serious? Oh, I'm scared. You're never going to like get in or have a good experience. You have to be having fun. Like you have to be able to chill and relax and not take it too seriously. And I think that's kind of like what this is all about, is like, and I think some of us are also like really super tired and feeling like I can't go on anymore because I've been digging so deep into like the depths of my soul. And it's just like, it's almost like it's like a saying, okay, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just like relax, get still, and just be in a happy vibe, and things are gonna happen with the help of like your guides that you should call in, you know, and the Ascended Masters for sure. Definitely with the help of the Ascended Masters. All right, so let's pull some tarot. That's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, I don't know if that's really loud if I shuffle those next to that mic. I'm working with a new mic for anyone that hasn't heard that yet. I don't want to like hurt anybody's ears by shuffling next to the new mic. Yeah, if anyone is having any trouble hearing me, finding it quiet in any way, let me know. I'm hoping not, because I put the volume on full. So Got like the Judgment and Queen of Pentacles showing up there. Something about releasing hard work or labor. What does the group need to know in their highest good? We're calling in the highest and wisest and most benevolent and loving guides, angels, ascended masters, highest vibrations of light, God, Holy Spirit. Oh my God, what's going on here? Calling in the New Earth grid, calling in the light ships. I know that's a new thing to be calling in the light ships, but they're just, that's one thing that, yeah, that I haven't really mentioned. They're just so, their energy is so present now because of these shifts, like I said, into the more positive energy and the New Earth grid, that like there's more contact, I guess, with the light ships that's been going on. So, and it's very powerful. It's very activating. So, really, really, like you can, I think, have a lot faster breakthroughs connecting with light ships than a lot of the modalities that we've been working with so far. And once that starts to really take off, I think we're going to have a lot more rapid breakthroughs with healing, with advancement in our spirituality, with technology, all that stuff. So, okay, so what does the group need to know this week? Their highest good. What do we need to know this week in our highest good? What do we need to know this week? Our highest good. Need to know. What does the group need to know in their highest good? Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Okay. So something's kind of come to an end with like I was saying, all this kind of like stuff from the past that was difficult and really unsavory, which is why I think they're suggesting to do something very savory. So, I mean, that's the first card off the bat. So I guess what I'm saying, and this is a strong message that's been coming through a lot, that like you need, it's important to let go of the fear that all this stuff that was like either attacking you or manipulating you or draining your energy or belittling you or competing with you or whatever it was, like they want you to know that it's over, that it's not going to repeat again. And there's like protection now that's going to like prevent this from happening again. So it's okay to like let go, and relax. And you need to relax to move forward. So it's an important message. And then the next cards we got is the Three of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. And the underside of the deck was the Fool reversed. So it just seems like there's like a little bit of hesitation with jumping into a new beginning, new opportunity, and like kind of just allowing there to be going with the flow and the celebration of all of that and trusting it. But it's there. So it's just about kind of being aware. And I think that just sort of like letting go and enjoying yourself is going to help to like, and again, this whole thing about water flow, letting emotions flow is like going to be helpful for allowing this new opportunity to manifest. So it's the overall energy from the Rider-Waite. Let's pull some Akashic Tarot, my favorites these days. Let's see if there's any comments here. So Audrey says she likes the sound of card shuffling. Well, that's good. And Stephanie says the volume is fine, but your words and mouth aren't moving with the sync on my end. But this reading is great. Good. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm is not sure if that's a new thing, if that's happened before with my other microphones. But I haven't heard that one before. I mean, and Emily joined. Hi, Emily. Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying hello. So what does the group need to know in their highest good? What do they need to know in their highest good? Oh, I just noticed something. It says right under here, like leap of faith, right? Breakthrough, leap of faith, new beginning, right? Fool card reverse in the bottom of the deck. So it's like, it's a double message. It's like, got to take the jump. You got to do it, right? So, because if that's where like the new opportunity lies. It's hard. Like I'm going through this myself. Like, it's just like, there's some things that like, it's just really a tough pill to swallow to let go of in order to get to this place. And, but Spirit's just really pushing us to like let go of the past and to be like way showers and leaders into the new. And I'm not saying that that's like necessarily easy, but in the long run, it will pay off, I think. And it might pay off in spades, but really it's not really about getting the massive, huge payoff in the end. It's more about just like doing what your soul is called and what feels right, and ultimately the satisfaction of knowing that you can do that and be able to still receive the abundance you need to take care of your needs and the needs of your family if you have one, while you're doing that. And if you do really well with it, I mean, that's just like a bonus, really. So what does the group need to know in their highest good and the highest good of all? To know in the highest good and the highest good of all. What does the group need to know this week? Their highest good and the highest good of all. Hey, Erica, thanks for joining. Stephanie said that mouth not being in sync thing never happened before. Interesting. What do we need to know in the highest good? What do we need to know in the highest good and the highest good of all? What else do we need to know? And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? It's too many cards. What else? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty powerful. Yeah. So just before I even get into the main cards, like the underside is the Buddha prepares, which is all about like being ready to take action, right? It's time. Like, it's time to like take a leap. It's time. You've done like a lot of that inner work, and it's time to share more of like what you've learned, what you know. So the first card that came out the gate was the King of Keys. So there's like, this is like a really strong like character in terms of somebody who's able to make their financial abundance, who's able to lead, be a leader. He's on a white horse, so he's pure. He's leading from a pure place. And he's moving forward into the future, right? Like he's not looking back on what was. And so, but definitely there's an element of like business and enterprise in this. So like it's not necessary to say that whatever you might be doing is necessarily traditionally spiritual per se. It might be that you're taking a leap of faith in some other area, but bringing something new to it. There's definitely some element of it being something that's going to provide you some sort of financial abundance with the King of Keys there. And it's going to require you to step a little bit more into your divine masculine energy to do that. So And the next card we have is the Muse reverse, combined with Will, Wisdom, and Mind, which is number 20, and the Scribe, number 12. So, you know, I feel like it's kind of funny, like why all these three? It's almost like the Muse reverse doesn't really fit with the rest of these cards. But again, I think it has to do with this whole pleasure energy and like doing something creative for yourself and giving yourself the permission to like allow that energy, that creative energy, some space to flow. It's honestly tough, like amongst all this sort of like spiritual awakening and like connecting with meditation and healing and really trying to like get into like higher self and higher guidance. It can be easy to like let that artist expression kind of fall to the wayside, especially when you've got this like strong entrepreneurial energy pushing forward. So I think it's just trying to give like a little bit of again, like what I'm seeing here is like, it's like a little bit of a warning when you see like this, you know, Ace of Pentacles reversed with savoring pleasure. And then these, it's almost like saying like, don't assume that like this has to be all work and no sort of creativity, no play, no sensuality. Yeah, because there's something about the synergy of that I think is what brings forth this sort of power, this sort of balance of like you've got here, sorry, wrong one. You've got like these red and blue channels, right, on both sides, which everybody has in their energy system. And when those are both flowing properly, that's when you really can like ignite that third energy, this Trinity energy, this green energy, which is also your Emerald Gateway and your heart chakra. And that really, you know, activates your higher self, your higher mind in a really powerful way so that you can really become a very powerful person on earth with the manifestations that you do from like a flow state. And some like of like the leaders in the world, like in the past have been very good at being able to do this. And then, so it's kind of suggesting like that's available, that energy is opening up, you know, when you're in a balanced, kind of when you're in a balanced energy about these things and balanced in your masculine and feminine. And then, you know, paired with that is scribe. So, you know, there's two kind of different aspects to the scribe cards. Comes up a lot. One is like about doing deeper study and learning. And opening yourself more, right? And I think that's obviously like very, very relevant because we've got, because we've got this like fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. So I think that's, you know, got to be the main message of the card. But we've also got this extra meaning of like doing writing, potentially doing proposals, which could be more work related too, like, which is connecting to this sort of King of Keys who is looking, actually, he was looking towards that card. So there's a double meaning. And that, I think that, you know, that makes sense to me because like I've been looking at some stuff about maybe doing a little mini course about writing for blogs for like my new website that I'm going to be launching, and like how to like, you know, do that in a way that's more compelling. But so that's like one aspect, the writing aspect. But I also think that there's like the bigger aspect is about really like actually getting this higher knowledge. A lot of it is from, I think, the Akashic records, but it's also from other sources as well. So it's just kind of clarifying like some of these messages that were coming through with the Oracle cards. Maybe I'll ask, yeah, I actually want to keep going with Akashic Tarot, ask a little bit about like relationship, like divine feminine, divine masculine energies before I pull anything else. So, hi Beth, thanks for joining. Diane says, wow, definitely me, yes, good. Okay, so let's just shuffle these up a little bit. Okay. So what do we need to know? Okay. What do we need to know? Whoa. The divine feminine energy for the week. What do we need to know about the divine feminine energy for the week? Okay, that's good. And what do we need to know about the divine masculine energy for the week? What do we need to know about the divine masculine energy for the week? Okay. So the divine feminine energy is balance. So that really kind of feels strongly connected to this whole will, wisdom, mind card. Coming into balance really brings you into that power and able to like, you know, really like, I feel like this stream of light, right, coming through the center of this card and this crown, right, above the Trinity. It's like, it's kind of like one and the same in a lot of ways. And then you've got here the scales, right? The scales of justice on this card with the light glowing in the background coming through the door. So in a way, that imagery is all kind of, it's all connected. It's all the same. So very powerful energy for the divine feminine this week. It also is suggesting that if like you're going through any legal stuff right now, that it will work out well and in your favor if you are. So that's really good as well. And for the divine masculine, hey Tamara, thanks for joining. Beth says, love the experience and knowledge you hold in this field. Really thoroughly enjoying listening to you when I get the chance to. Oh, thanks, Beth. I really appreciate that. So we've got the divine physician reversed and the treasure, 2 of keys reversed. So something about what's been going on in the masculine experience, or the masculine energy experience, which essentially is like this energy here of having been like really battered and bruised, has led to a unveiling of the spirit, you know? And I think that's true. Like a lot of these, like, I hate to say it also, like some of these more like toxic, maybe it's a strong word, toxic masculine, but just like these more egoic masculine energies of like, or just these patriarchal energies that we've all kind of were stuck in, like that were creating a lot of problems and causing light workers to like get really burned because we never really were able to like work or function or fit in with that system because we weren't made that way. Like, but what it did by not fitting in and not being able to really like navigate all the like lies, manipulation, deceit, control, and just sort of getting burned by it, it served a purpose to really unveil the depth of like your soul as a light worker. And so the treasure reversed is saying like it was successful and it has done it. And that's why to some extent is, you know, this time for celebration, even though it may not feel like it because you're still kind of like, like, you know? So, but it's okay. It's like saying your spirit's been unveiled, like the hard work has been done. And what's really kind of required for the masculine energy is to like clean up the thinking. You know, like starting to like, it really like in, you know, a huge part of what heals us is the opposite of what hurt us, all the criticism, all the judgment, all the negative thinking, all that was either internal or, you know, given to us by programming, by society, by conditioning, etc. You know, like the opposite effect can be had for healing by putting on all these like kind words and talking in ways that are truly magnificent and loving and poetic and beautiful. So, but it's just kind of suggesting that like maybe there's just like not really knowing how to do that, or not really, you know, like needing to like put a little bit of work into it, I think is why it's like reversed. So, again, it might be a little easier to kind of start doing that, but just start by like giving yourself a little self-care. And when you're feeling a little bit like in a nice soft place, and it's easier to start having soft conversations with yourself. And sometimes just like really songs that make you feel really good, and the words in those songs might really inspire you as well to like go on that track. So let's pull a card from Energy Oracle for the week. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. because I just pulled this card last night and it came out again upright, which is very auspicious. So, and same underside too, actually. So blossoming abundance, number 3. So this is all about, like, it's basically coming into a time of increased wealth and abundance and prosperity, and to just keep working at it and planting your seeds, but that it's very auspicious for like a time of growth. And, you know, to have that coming up with the King of Keys, which is like a very, very prosperous, abundant figure, is very, very auspicious. So if you have projects that you have been working on, or that you want to get started, you know, it's a very much like a green light. Now is the time to do it. So that's really, really, really exciting to see. And again, on the underside, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. So again, just speaking to this whole connection with the higher mind, and this, you know, part of that is going to really bring in that power that's going to drive, you know, this forward. So it's really good. So here we are. Wow, where did 41 minutes go? What else are we going to pull before we go? Well, since we're talking about moving forward with work and stuff, work things, let's pull an Archangel Gabriel card. Look at this. 3 popped out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so first one's creative expression. And it says, God's divine creativity is expressed through your actions. It's really kind of a funny looking card. I mean, they're like kind of fun. Look at them dancing. But you know, just like, I think it's the message is just like that you are divine, and that everything you're doing, everything you're sharing from this new place is God's divine creativity moving through you, and to be like confident in that and proud of that. And then next we've got express your inner truth. Your creative work shines brightest when it reflects your genuine feelings and thoughts. So yeah, like definitely part of this whole getting clear in the mind, these initiations of the mind. You know, it's important to speak our truth, but from our true truth, from a positive place, not from just like, I feel so beaten down by the world kind of a place. So I feel like allowing a lot of these new thoughts to come in and move through us and inspire you is meant to not only be felt for you, but to be shared with others. And the last one is ask for what you want. And then it says clear communication with yourself, with God, and with others helps you avoid misunderstandings and speeds up the process of answered prayers. Yes. Yeah. This has been a very, very big message. This is so consistent with like another reading I that I just did. That's not even really funny. Like, so it's just like, it's just confirming it in a bit of a different way. So I can say 100%, like this is very much like the reality of the energies right now. So yeah, like communication is super, super, super important. So, you know, what I would say for that is like when you're writing an email, before you send it off, read it over for clarity, make sure it's clear. Like take time to write down what you want. Like, if you've just had a meditation, guided meditation, or like an Akashic Records experience, write down what happened. If you had a dream that you remembered, write it down. Like, because all these things, when you write it down, it's like, again, brings us back to this whole energy of the scribe. It helps make more things more clear, and it helps more insights come in. At the very least, if some things you can't write down, you can voice record. But and so in addition to like that, I think it also is really suggesting to pray and to like clearly, not just only in writing, like ask for what you want, like a goal or a vision, but to like visualize and like ask, you know, in a prayer to the divine for what it is you want right now, because prayers are being answered, right? Like with this blossoming abundance. Like it's just, you just have to ask. It's exciting. And look, the underside of the deck, and this has been coming up so much. Success. Congratulations, you did it. Hooray. I'm telling you, this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've had this card come up. So I think that's really, really super duper positive. Hello, Nicolette. Thanks for joining. Stephanie says, love those Archangel Gabriel messages. Beautiful, and I resonate. Yeah, me too. Me too. So I'm going to, I'll pull a, what else am I going to pull? I'm going to pull one more energy oracle because Spirit is saying to do that. And then I might pull 1 or 2 other cards and I'm going to call it a day. Okay. So what else do we need to know? What's the advice, I guess, if there is any advice? What's the advice for energy oracle? So what came up is attachment reversed, but then what kind of poked out behind it was door to value reversed. So all that's really kind of suggesting is that it's, and I know this is hard to do, but what will hold people back right now is being attached to things from the past. It's going to slow down the ability to like step into these manifestations of this new. So it's really, again, important to like be looking forward, keep going forward, you know, ask for what you want, like keep going forward instead of like looking to the past to the best of your ability. And I know that can be easier said than done, but that's, you know, the advice. And to like release any envy that you have if you feel like you're having to let go of things that, you know, you shouldn't have to let go of. And if you feel like that's gonna, you know, that other people have things that you don't because you've been, you know, taken on this path and on this journey. So again, I know it's all easier said than done, but this is the word of Spirit. And let's pull a Keeper of the Light to close. And don't forget, like, you don't have to have this all figured out this week. This is just the predominant energy of the week. It'll carry forward. But February is a big time, you know, like there's a lot of very special days in February in general. So, you know, it's a strong, I think, energy for the month. So what do we need to know from the Keepers of the Light? The highest good. Yeah. Can't even believe. It's just like ridiculous. So much similarities. So charity came through. Prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. So it's just really what I've been saying already about like the importance of praying for what you want and then meditating on it. And sometimes it's just hard to like even find the amount of time you need to really do that. But it's really, really important right now to do. Again, it just ties in, you know, it's a double message, right? Ask for what you want and you will receive. You have to ask. You have to ask. So, Diane says, awesome read. Beth says, have an awesome weekend, girl. Thanks for sharing your space tonight. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining. If any of you feel called to make a donation to help support my new prop that I just got to have this new speaker to get a clearer sound out to you guys, I will put a link to my PayPal me in the comments. I would appreciate any donations. And if anyone's interested in a Akashic Records reading or a Rainbow Connection or a personal tarot and oracle reading, let me know and I'd be happy to help you. Just reach out. Have a great week and I'm sending you lots of love.